Now it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our very first Ed Talk speaker, Dan Ariens, who is Chairman and CEO of Ariens Company. What Dan is so great about is that he has been a founder of New North, and he has been a great supporter of an investor of New North since the very beginning of time. Dan is also chairman of WEDC and also the Manufacturing Council for the state of Wisconsin. And in addition to that, he also happens to be on the executive committee of the Green Bay Packers. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Dan Ariens.
Good morning, and thanks very much, Kathy, and it's an honor to be here with you at the New North Summit. Have been here before, usually sitting on the other side of this podium. I understand one thing, TED or Ed Talks are short, and also that I'm between you and a bathroom break, right? I think it's been a long time in the chair. So let me just start by saying, there's a lot of things I could go into today, but I really wanted to talk about what we do in Brillion, Wisconsin, because for me, what we really do in Brillion is really absolutely cool. We make stuff. We're a manufacturing company, so we're making things, right? When we make things and we make these products, the best zero turn in the world, the best snowblower, the number one snowblower in the world is made right in Brillion, Wisconsin, the Ariens 2-stage snowblower. Our zero turns are sold around the world as well. But we know that when we make those things, we've got this journey that we've set ourselves upon, right? So that journey that we're setting ourselves on is to astound a customer. As a matter of fact, our vision statement at Ariens Company is to be passionate people and to astound our customers. Back in 1893, Ariens Company and the family moved to Brillion, Wisconsin. In 1893, we started the Brillion Iron Works. The Ariens Company was founded in 1933. Sorry, I'm really fast-forwarding myself. So in 1933, we started this company making tillers, but at the same time, we were always making a product that we knew that was going to be in the hands of consumers for a very long time. Today, the snowblowers and zero turns that we make, we know are going to last at least one generation, probably 2 or 3 generations in the garages, especially here in Northeast Wisconsin, is an Ariens snowblower that's going to get handed down from father to son or father to daughter, and it's going to be moving from one generation to the next. We know that we're going to be part of your family for a long time. We know that we're setting ourselves on a journey that has to astound you for this whole purpose of making sure that the relationship we build over a lot of generations lasts for a very, very long, long time. So one of our goals is to make sure we have passionate people in our company. Recently, I was going through some old files of my father's, cleaning out some of his files. I found a 1969, I'll call it a SWOT analysis. He didn't call it that at the time, but it was sort of looking at strengths and weaknesses. Top 3 things in 1969, he called it manpower shortage. Number 2, talent pool in leadership was shallow. And the third thing was communication. I thought it rather striking that in 1969, these were the same issues that we're talking about here today. You just heard the governor talk about workplace shortage, talent pool shortage. Well, it's really silly to say those things in 1969 were an issue and to talk about them here in almost 2016. So it's a little bit like Yogi Berra, right? It's deja vu all over again, right? Or not to go through Einstein, but in Einstein's theory of stupidity, we all kind of know that saying, right? So we have to change the game. We have to change what we're thinking, or we have to change the rules of the game so that we can participate and sort of avoid the things that we had in 1969 and not repeat the same failures, right? So one of the game changers for us in Brillion was to do something with the Brillion High School. So we clearly, in a small community, have understood for a very long time there's a shortage of manpower. There's a shortage of labor. We were always working on recruiting people to drive down Highway 10 or come down 57 or across from the lakeshore and visit our plant and work there for a career. So we've dealt with this for a very long time. Well, getting together with our high school was really our game changer. So we knew that we would set ourselves on a journey developing STEM education. I think some of you know that story. But for us, we were trying to achieve three things. First of all, back to my first statement, we were trying to change the mindset of manufacturing. It's actually pretty cool. We make stuff, we put it in a box, we build a relationship for generations to come, for people to be part of the Ariens family, the Ariens company, the people that make Ariens company, and it's just that orange snowblower in your garage. But at the end of the day, when you call and you have an issue and there's a snowstorm and there's 2 feet of snow in your driveway, you want to talk to somebody that cares. That's really what it's about. It's not always the steel and how well it's put together or the design of the product. It's the relationship that we have with you for 30, 40, 50, and yes, 60 years with our products. So we needed to change the game with the kids that were coming into our workforce to see, hey, I wanted to be part of this thing called manufacturing. It's actually kind of cool. So with the high school, we needed to change a mindset. We wanted to show people that, hey, it's not your father's manufacturing floor anymore. And you know what? When you start talking about the Internet of Things, we're at the forefront of the Internet of Things. Advanced manufacturing is changing how we manufacture today and how we think about manufacturing. So we needed not just welders, not just machinists, not just tool and die apprentices or experts. We needed problem solvers. We need people that think differently about solving problems. We can teach you how to weld. We can teach you how to be a machinist. We need people that can think on their feet and be part of our continuous improvement journey. So that was our first goal. We needed to change the mindset. And that's working. That's working. We're having a lot more kids, as you heard the governor say, going to the Fox Valley Technical Schools or Lakeshore or Northeast Wisconsin technical colleges. We're sending kids not just to 4-year, but into degrees that get them into work quicker, into the things that they actually have a passion for. The second thing is we wanted to get more young ladies thinking about an engineering or manufacturing career. That's a difficult task. But for those of you who are my age, 50-ish, do you remember a shop class where you were making bookshelves, or in the woodworking class, how many young women were in the class with you at that time? Today, in the STEM education at Brillion, it's anywhere from 25 to 38% are young ladies who are joining and thinking about engineering as a career. So we think we're accomplishing that. We know that we're changing some mindsets early. And then the third thing that we wanted to tackle was just this whole idea of retention, right? So how do we make sure that the brain drain, we don't teach them how to be good manufacturing young people, but how do we keep them in our company? Today as well, when we have interns from 11 to 20 interns a year in our manufacturing or engineering areas, we're working and measuring our retention rate. Today, the retention rate is between 35 and 40%. Now, it's on a small number each year, but if we're putting those kind of kids into our manufacturing plants, that's enough for us. That's enough for Ariens Company, and it's solving our problem, and we're doing it with our own high school at the local level. So as we think about trying to build a passion with all those young people and bringing them in, the other thing we're doing is we're teaching them all about our culture at the same time as we groom them to come into the workforce. Problem solvers that understand the Ariens culture, understand the Ariens way, and continue to build our company for the next generation. Part of our journey, too, is to make sure that we put the right kind of tools together to recruit people at all levels. I have an interesting sort of fun story. Facebook, you're going to hear from Mr. Bergstrom about social media. By the way, at @DAriens58, Twitter handle. You notice I use handle because that's sort of breaker one, not, so in today's world, for me, that's a handle. But we had Louise posted on our Facebook page. Louise is an interesting story, right? So the fact that we're continuing to create our brand around the country, young lady lives in Appleton. She meets Louise on Facebook. They develop a relationship. They get engaged. Louise is living in California in the Bay Area, working for his father as a landscaper, meets this young Appleton woman, decides to move to Wisconsin, and of course, we want Louise to come and work for us. He's got some great skills. He knows landscaping. We make landscape mowers. He can come and work in our plant, and what a nice career. But his message there starting a new journey in my life, wanting to start with Ariens Company. So how do we continue to build that? The latest thing we've announced as well is our Design and Development Center, putting $9 million into our plant in Brillion, Wisconsin, so that we can continue to put the investments right there in our small community to continue to recruit these people to come back and join us on our journey over a long period of time. So as we continue to build this out, again, to the whole point of passionate people and astounding our customers, one of the other things that we know that we need to do is continue to build the relationship we have with our customers. I want to show you a really interesting story. When there's a snowstorm, I get a lot of letters. And I would say about 95% of them are very thankful for their Ariens snowblower getting them out of the storm. We actually have a story of a young lady who named her son Aaron, swear to God, because the snowblower got her out of the driveway into the hospital to deliver the son. We have this story to share. This just recently came in. This is how a customer wrote to us about his problem with his Ariens snowblower. Drew a cartoon. Well, this went around the office in rather minutes on PDF files. So we had a couple of very creative employees that decided, let's respond to him in the best way that we thought we could. See, the whole idea is that we can create this passion that exudes through our employees and our associates and moves right into this whole idea of astounding our customers. So we know that when this customer got this message, he got a really different, astounding experience than any other letter he wrote to any other manufacturer. Let me just leave you with a couple of thoughts. That any conference you go to, and you're going to go to a lot of them, you all do this. If you're in economic development, I think that's one of our goals is to do conferences. The WMC is doing Future Wisconsin. I think it's next week. And if you're going to be to that, take 3 things away from you. That would be the one message that I leave you with today. Take 3 things here that you're going to learn in this think shift. Write those down. See how you can engage those 3 ideas into your business, into your activities, whatever you do in your vocation. But remember, if you're going to make changes, as the Chinese proverb said, it's the man who moved the mountain by taking one pebble at a time. Thank you very much.